No one really talks about the times where students struggle and kind of lose themselves, or at least not really know where they're going. So about a year ago, I would say that my anxiety got pretty bad, and I didn't really notice at first. I think that's the thing about mental illness, is that you don't really, I don't know, sometimes it's harder to kind of dissect. And I think with my anxiety, I was so high functioning as well. Like, I was still getting like the best grades in school, and I was still doing everything I could. I had like 2 internships, and I was going to school full time, and I had upper level classes, and I was like being proactive and being busy, and that's not really the face of someone who's struggling mentally. And I think that when you're busy, I think that when you're in college especially, and you have a full workload, you're just trying to get through the day, so you don't really, maybe you don't notice until like you can't ignore it anymore. But what people don't really talk about is that mental health and physical health are so intertwined. And that's what I learned about through that journey, is that if something's not right with my mental headspace, it's gonna affect me physically. When I was anxious all the time, I had nausea, I had shortness of breath all the time. I was losing weight because I didn't want to eat. My body, well, I had a full-on body tremor, so my body was like shaking as if it was super cold, but it wasn't. And I'm not sure what it is about college. I think it's like everyone is just trying to figure themselves out, and it can be a very stressful 4 years, and that takes a toll on you mentally. And I don't think like it's talked about enough, I guess. Having a panic attack, like realizing I was losing so much weight, like being nauseous all the time, having those symptoms that I really couldn't ignore, it helped me kind of confront my anxiety a lot better. And then things started getting better. I was just not afraid of it anymore. And I was like, okay, this is something that I can deal with. This is something that it's okay to have, first of all, because I think a lot of people are ashamed. Like, whatever works for you, find it. And that's just such horrible advice, because it's like, when you're in that state, I know how lost you can feel. Like, I know how you feel like nothing really works for you. But I promise, like, just being able to talk about it helps so much more. Healing doesn't happen overnight. And I read something that my friend sent to me, and it was actually very comforting. It was like, healing isn't a linear process. There's gonna be ups and downs when it comes to healing from anything. I'm like the type of person that when I get really stressed, I don't even eat, like I don't sleep that well, like I just have really bad habits. And I think that's important, to try to get those habits realigned, to try to fix your sleeping schedule. It's something that seems so small, like could make a huge difference. Or, you know, trying to eat better, trying to exercise. I'm really bad at that, but you know, those little things that we think probably won't affect us as much as they do, they actually really do help. And I don't think that they're the cure to mental illness or anything like that, but I feel like they do help a lot of people cope, or at least get a lot of people on track to where they want to be.